at some point and see, what he wanted. He kind of wanted to go over with me, like, what's going to happen on Monday, and then he wants to find out, I guess, what I'm going to say. So, I don't know. Mark Harper seems to think that Lyle is going to be in the meeting.
Well, let me ask you this, and you tell me, because I don't know. Here's what I don't like, and I'll be honest with you, and you can tell me what your thoughts are on it. Mm-hmm. So one of the things in Michael's report, he speaks of, like, the city council has deep distrust. And I understand that we're kind of all on a different page there.
Yeah.
But I did tell him, and on Friday when I talked to him, I said, here's the deal. And it's not that I'm necessarily saying individual council members need to be named. It's not that look, I don't have a problem being on record one way or the other, but it's not that I'm looking at it going, all right, well, I polled all of the council members. But one of the things he says is the executive leadership team and city council have a deep distrust. And I was like, if he doesn't have at least 4 on the council, it would be hard for me to get on board with somebody saying, well, the council this, because then I look at it and go, well, what if 3 people on council don't like somebody? That could potentially end up in their performance review. But then also the go ahead.
I would say that it's a different perspective, because that evaluation would have been for the full year, right? So you have to think about the fact that y'all are new to council, and the people that y'all replaced all wanted to fire chief a long time ago. So I understand what you're saying, but he could probably make an argument that he's not necessarily just talking about this council. He could talk about a long behavior of, inappropriate behavior that caused that distrust over the last however many years. So,
do you know? Like, I know that Stephen and Chief don't get along, right? Or is it Ryan and Stephen doesn't?
No, it's Stephen.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There's part of me that wants to, and it's not a gotcha moment to Michael as much as it is like a clarifying thing. Mm-hmm. Is there? What do you think about the appropriateness of? Like, I'm guessing Stephen will be in there too. He's our assistant city manager.
He's out of town on Monday.
Oh, okay.
So he's not going to be there. Yep. I was upset to hear that. But he had already put in for vacation. They're like in Minnesota or something. Because
he's documented things with you, I'm sure, that Michael might not have.
Yeah.
And so
and Stephen is much more tough on Chief than Michael ever has been. But they're going to bring in, so I know that they're bringing in Lee, Human Resources, and I know that they're going to bring in this lady named Melissa, in addition to Jennifer. Melissa is a labor attorney. So they will all be a part of the meeting that we're having. And,
now, well, I was going to say, so Michael told me, I think, the labor attorney, I forgot her name, but he said that there was going to be a labor attorney. I just, now I know that, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Chief would not be able to be part of that, because at that point the attorney is working on behalf of the city council, not like the chief. And he, if
I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know that Chief has a right to be a part of the meeting.
Right.
But I thought he had a right to make the meeting public rather than private. That's what I thought. I didn't realize he could come into executive chambers and listen in that way. I wasn't aware of that. But I haven't heard if he's going to be there. I don't know if Mark is just assuming that or what, but...
Mark Harper?
Harper, yeah.
I mean, here's...
So I don't know.
I guess what? If Chief is in there... that's going to be awkward.
Well, yeah, I mean, how can you do Robert's Rules of Order on him? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I would have...
It's just going to get really messy. I don't know. really uncomfortable. But we gotta speak truth. I mean, that's really the issue that we've had this whole time. Is when we get in public, we're either not allowed to say what the whole story is, or you have Michael kind of waffling. He called me on Wednesday. He called me on Wednesday, and he was like, "Hey, I heard you were mad at me, so I was just trying to call and see if we can't work this out." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I kind of am." And he was like, "Well, tell me what I did. Tell me what I can do right." And I was like, "Well, Michael, I just need you to say yes or no. I don't need your opinion on it. I just want the facts. And I want to know that the same facts that you're telling me are the same ones you're telling Andrew, or the same ones that you're telling Hatley. And that when we ask you for yes or no answers in a meeting, that you're going to provide that." I mean, it felt like you just kind of sat in the background, and then when you were called upon, you never really said anything straight. Like I'd asked him 2 different times about the $200,000 that he estimated that it would cost, and he just never wanted to answer the question. And that to me, that's something that is very relevant, because are you talking about purchasing a whole new chief immediately, or are you just talking about is that going to be the pay bump and having 2 interims? I mean, I wouldn't imagine that you would need $200,000 for interims. And then if you calculate that, we've also lost 2 police officers now since the start of this. We budgeted to have those, and we haven't used them. And we can't hire any new ones right now. I mean, we can try, but, anyway. So I talked to him about that. I told him that I was very upset with the fact that no one knew, Chief knew, but Michael didn't know, but he just allowed Chief to expose every single undercover, unmarked cop car in our fleet and give the license plate numbers. We live in a country where cops are being killed and executed in their cars.
Yeah.
And he did that, and just, that was a rookie mistake. Like a rookie firefighter mistake. Not a chief of police. Why would you do that? There was a cop not even a year ago that was murdered in his car in downtown Dallas. He was a Dallas cop. You remember that?
Yeah.
He was a school teacher. He quit being a school teacher or coach, and then he goes to sign up for DPD. Got shot in the back of the head just sitting in his cruiser. I mean, we have a chief that just put all that info out there on the internet forever.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid stuff like that. I've been listening to phone calls all week, ever since the agenda came out.
Yes, and I'm asking it from because it deals with Michael, because when I haven't talked to Mark Harper since Monday. We talked Monday night, and I think he was mad at me at the beginning. I talked to him. He seemed okay, but we hadn't sent a text back and forth, so I think he's still mad at me. But he told me he was like, I want Michael and Chief on the agenda for next week. And I don't know I don't know if y'all had talked, and so you were like, look, I'm putting Chief on the agenda, and so it was like, okay, we can either deal with Michael later or what. So I don't know if he's still upset with Michael as well.
Michael called him and did the same thing with me that he did with Mark. So he called him, and I think smoothed it out enough to where Mark didn't put him on the agenda. But Scott Kelly told me, and I'm sure he told Harper the same thing, that he was ready to fire Chief, but he's not ready to fire Michael yet. That he agrees that he has not been doing what he's supposed to, but he said, I'm going to give him, we'll see how he handles this stuff on Monday with Chief, and if he, accepts the criticisms that we've been talking to him about, then, we don't have to fire him. But, it really is dependent on his behavior on Monday and how he handles it, and if he pushes it off onto us. Like I told Michael, I said, it just feels like this all got pushed off onto us into the DPS split, and in my mind, this should have been handled between you and the HR and the attorney. Y'all knew that these were problems. You wrote all this bad stuff in his evaluation.
Well, but
yet you stopped short of putting him on a PIP.
See, that's where I think I read that evaluation, and I asked him point blank, and I don't think he ended up talking about it, or we talked about something else. The last part of his the chief's evaluation that he writes is like, I look forward to working with Chief in the coming year. I wish him well. I wish him and his department well, and look forward to, what we accomplish in the coming year, or something like that. And I don't know. Here's where I feel like here's why I'm upset with Michael. Because I talked to Michael on Saturday, because I said, because we had talked about it, and I know I had talked to you about some of this stuff too. And it was like, when I talked to Michael, it was, Michael, you seem to be under the impression that Chief is no good to lead the department anymore. But then, but when it would be, oh, okay, so he's not good at all? Well, no, he has some good stuff. Oh, but it's irredeemable? No. I mean, there's some things that we could absolutely work on. And it's like, so I had no idea if Michael's looking at Chief going like, hey, he needs to go, or hey, he doesn't need to go, he just needs some work. Or if it's, well, since I'm 50-50, I'll just let council decide. Not decide, because I know it's Michael's final say, one way or the other. But then, so when Michael and I spoke on Saturday, because I had said I went up to City Hall and to read a bunch of that stuff, because long story short, Candace had a friend over and they brought their kids, and so like my house was just filled with like 6 young girls, 8 and under, and I was like, I'm not going to get any work done here. So I went up there and read, was reading through the agenda and doing all that, and I said, hey, can we talk? And so he was like, yeah, sure, I'm on my way. So he came up there, and we had about an hour and a half conversation, and from my understanding, there was a, like, and I would say probably where I understood, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm totally willing to acknowledge if I was wrong on this, but I kind of thought everybody's goal was for Chief to be moved to fire, the department splits, and that's, and then if Chief wanted to leave, he would leave, if he saw that as a demotion or whatever, but actually, because I remember, didn't we talk about if he goes down to fire, then the big question was going to be if he was going to keep his salary or not. And I think Michael said he would be able to keep his salary. And there was the talk about, well, would he keep his salary if he was actually, not doing as much and stuff like that. And that's not my decision to make. And I don't necessarily know what I think about that one way or the other. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know what is happening anymore. And I feel like it's kind of this in limbo, and that's where I just am having trouble not looking at this going, something's going to happen on Monday, and like Tuesday morning, it's going to be, here was a decision that was made, and it's going to be like, oh, what do y'all think about it? And I feel like I'm going to be very blindsided. Not blindsided because I don't see that there are problems that have been addressed about Chief's performance. Blindsided as to what Michael thinks about it.
I will tell you, they're moving forward with firing him. And
apparently
they're moving forward with firing him. They don't think that, and I'll tell you why. So Michael very specifically told Chief he was not to contact anyone on council any longer. That his relationship with Mark Hatley needed to, if he had questions for Mark Hatley or Mark Hatley had questions for him, that it needed to go through Michael. That it was a bad idea, that their relationship had gotten way too close and causing a lot of political stress, right? So he had that conversation with him at his evaluation. And Michael has proof based on the phone records. Chief has called Hatley. Hatley has called Chief, and they have talked multiple times for hours on end since being told you can't do that. And so at this point, apparently Michael laid some traps, I guess. And Chief has basically failed every last one of them.
Chief walked right into him.
Yep, he did. And so, that's your boss. He gave you a direct order. He wrote it on your evaluation, and you went and did exactly what you were told not to do. And you were so dumb, you did it from your work phone. Where, you could have called Vicky's. You could have called from Vicky's phone. You know what I mean? So, that is why it's just, he's just not doing what he's told. And he's getting counseling. He's receiving a bad eval. And then he does exactly what he got, marks off for his evaluation on. And you can't do that. You're at a director level position.
Right.
So when I talked to Michael on Wednesday, he was like, no, it's happening. It's, there's some, and he was like, there's been some things that have happened since his evaluation. And I was like what? And that was when he told me that. And he was like, so we are moving forward with it. And after I'm going to, lay it all out for all the council, all the disciplinary things and everything that's been going on. And then, if y'all want to say something, you can. And he said, after I hear y'all's feedback, then I'll have a decision to make. And so, he sounded much more resolved behind the fact that Chief was going. He wasn't staying, and he no longer thought he could even lead the fire department. Those were his words. He didn't even think that would be a good idea anymore. So.
Well, that explains then why, because I had, Monday, Chief, I don't know if you noticed when he goes, I've tried to call the mayor and he couldn't get back to me. I was kind of like, oh, okay. Thanks for that. And I made a joke, hey, I want that stricken from the record.
Yeah.
What was I about to say? Oh, so I called, because I told Chief when I saw him, when I first walked in there, I said, okay, I am not leaving here today until I schedule a ride-along, because I have needed to have done that, and I know that everything's that's been going on and stuff like that, but I at least didn't want to be the guy that's not following through on, oh, you said you were going to do this and you didn't. So I called him today, and he said that he couldn't fulfill my request, and I said, and at first I thought he was kind of joking with me and all that. And I said, I'm sorry. And he goes, you're going to have to call Michael and ask who you would need to contact to schedule a ride along. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what my conversation was. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely a switch. So there's obviously, I think Chief sees the writing on the wall at this point, because there's, just ever since it got put on the agenda, number one. So if that happened anytime on Tuesday, then it's possible that Chief was called in and they had a conversation, and that would be my guess.
Well, and I guess just to make sure, because you had asked about it on Monday, and I know that because there was kind of the no, don't talk to council people. Do we know? Have you ever? And I'm not arguing the point right now as much as I'm just asking for clarification. Have you ever read the charter thing that says what we are and are not allowed to do?
Yeah, actually, I read it again because I have the whole binder at my house from when I was on the commission. So I actually went home that night and read it. And then that was the one thing that I brought up to Michael when he called me. I was like, yeah, I know we're not allowed to interfere with day-to-day operations of anybody on DPS, and we can't hire and fire anybody on DPS. But, since you mentioned me violating the charter on Monday, I thought I would go back and refresh my memory. And I was like, it was like I said, I am allowed to have conversations with police officers and firefighters. The same way that it's encouraged to have a ride along. But I'm not allowed to tell them where to put a speed trap. So
right.
That's different. But I said one thing that we do have the power to do on council is to investigate or to have a survey, like a job performance survey, or like, how do you feel, how would you rate your boss type of survey or a review. We can force that. And Michael goes, oh, I would really like it if you would not do that. I said, why is that? And he said, well, it's just that, when and if we fire chief, he's likely to sue, and something like that could cause us problems. And I said, okay, Michael, well,
why would that cause us problems?
It didn't make sense to me. But I just said, I'll honor your request. I'll give you a chance to fix this, because this needs fixing. And we'll see how it goes on Monday. But if I'm not satisfied, I will absolutely send me a number of council members that are willing to do a review of the DPS and basically just ask, basically like an employment survey, like, how are we doing? How is the city doing as your employer?
Are you talking
check the temperature?
You're talking more, Michael would be the like, are you bringing statements from officers? Obviously they're anonymous. Are you going to bring those on Monday?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that
I'm gonna before I come, I'm gonna have organized everything. I'm trying to put it together like in a chronological way, what everybody has said. And that way they're kind of like mixed together. It's not like one person's statement. It's like, this happened then,
right,
and then this happened. Rather, because number one, I don't, especially if Chief is in there, I don't want him being able to identify who these officers are and these police and these firefighters, and then go and retaliate against them, because that's not fair.
Oh, so, right.
So I don't want to just like hand out a piece of paper and show y'all what the statements are. I don't think that that's smart to do that, especially because I know Hatley and Chief are way too close. So I need to do it. I need to have it presented in a way that protects their identity, because I would just absolutely go scorched earth on a TikTok video if that were to happen. If those officers were fired or anything happens to them because they spoke out. But I know that, like, they were threatened like, you're not allowed to talk to anybody on council. If you do, there will be repercussions, all this other stuff.
Oh, gosh.
And that was sent out by Chief, and Michael confirmed that. Like, when we told Michael that, he didn't think that was true. He confirmed it. They did. They sent that to the officers. And it's just like, he's just done so many things that now, looking at it, it's like, how long has this shit been going on? And these cops have just been like taking it. And then for his rebuttal to call those officers greedy, they were promised 7% raises, and then they got a 3 or 4%. That's a big difference, and especially when you're triple certified, you're having to work way more than the next department over that's paying you more. It's terrible for morale, and for him to call them greedy, like, come on, stop. That's inappropriate. They're not greedy for wanting the raise that was promised.
Right. If this is what I was told, I mean, wouldn't anybody, I mean, even in a salary negotiation, hey, you're going to make $100,000. Okay, great. I'm signing on the dotted line. Hey, here's your salary sheet. You're going to make $94,000. Oh, I thought I was going to make $100,000. Nobody would look and say, well, you're greedy for wanting that extra $6,000. No, it's not extra. Right. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
Well, I have not read the entirety of the rebuttal. I just went through and was
Called him greedy. The worst part, though, was when during the sex offender thing, he tried to defend himself by saying, "Well, I trusted the two captains to handle that." He threw Reagan and Taylor under the freaking bus, bro. You don't do that. Do you know who Alan West is? We all know who Alan West is. Do you know that, like, when he was deployed, this is why my husband freaking loves him. Like, that is his number one politician.
Oh, really?
He's met him. He loves Alan West because he was a lieutenant colonel in the Army, and he was deployed, and he went out with his men. His men did some messed up shit, like went too far. I don't know if they tortured somebody or they blew somebody up too good or whatever, but they were being court-martialed. And Alan West refused to give up his soldiers. He took the fall and had to retire early because he refused that. The commander does not throw his men under the bus. He doesn't do it. And that's why you have the morale issues that you have, because you have a chief who wasn't like, you know what, you're right. That was my responsibility. Ultimately, even if I did hand it off to Captain Reagan, it's still my job because I'm the fucking chief. Like, that's what you're supposed to say.
So I'm guessing Reagan and Taylor are probably hoping he's fired?
Reagan is, yes, I have not spoken to Reagan directly, but Michael did. And I think Scott Kelly did, if I remember correctly. Yes. Yeah, Scott Kelly, I believe. It was either Scott Kelly or Alan. I get them confused.
But when Alan was on council?
No.
Oh.
Like Alan's been all up in this, apparently, calling and talking to a lot of different people. I know he called and he's the one that told Michael that I was mad at him and that Mark Harper was mad at him. And I was like, thanks. Like, all right, whatever. But anyways, I can't remember if it was Scott or if it was Alan that told me that, but yeah. So, I'm very nervous about Monday if Chief is going to be in there because it's just uncomfortable, especially for me. Like, I'm going to be presenting other people's statements. I don't have a way of defending their statements. Like, if he has a rebuttal to that, like, that's not what fucking happened. And I wouldn't be able to fight their battles. I know what they've told me. So it's just like, I don't know what the structure is going to be, but I hope that it's structured enough to where I'm not getting threatened or cussed out because I'm speaking on behalf of his employees.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I would imagine, as far as you reading statements from officers, I would imagine there wouldn't be a, well, I have a question about this, because I would just think, what would the question be? And not saying that you would answer it like this because you would be deflecting, but if somebody were to say, well, what do they mean when they say blah, blah, blah? Your answer would just be, I'm just reading a statement that was prepared for me, or, that was given to me to read. Because you don't want to put words in somebody's mouth.
Sure. And I mean, and some of these guys I've talked to, like, they have called me, and then I'm like, hey, write it all down. Put it on a timeline for me. That way I can present it with everybody else's. So that's what I've been telling everybody. Like, just whatever you're telling me over the phone, please write it all down, because I will forget, and I don't want to misspeak, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to misremember anybody's statements and whatever. I'm not a journalist, obviously, so
how many?
I don't have total recall.
I know I'm new on council, and so I'm not expecting somebody to know who I am and to show me the same level of trust they show somebody like Mark Harper, who's been there and stuff. But do you think it's just a timing thing that they call you and Mark and not the mayor, or is there something else? And don't spare my feelings.
Yeah, I think from now, just what they've told me. They have watched me, and they said they know that, number one, I was somebody who was really, really fighting for them to get the DPS bond. So they, I did like a video. I went up there, interviewed Lyle, and walked around and did a tour. And
right.
And so they saw that. They also saw that I really supported Emily. and that I didn't let Vicky bully me out of supporting Emily.
Okay.
And I think that made a even bigger difference, because I think in the beginning they thought I was doing, the bond thing because of Chief. And then when me and Emily by no means were besties or anything, but I definitely supported her. I reached out to her and was like, hey, whatever you need from me, if you want me to go block walking for you or hand out push cards or whatever, I'll do that, And I think she developed a trust. And so when all this stuff first happened with the paychecks, she called me. And I was doing hair, and I texted her. I was like, I'll call you whenever I get off. And then by the time I had talked to her, she had already called Mark Harper. And I'm assuming she trusted him because he's been on council for a really long time, and there's been other things that have happened with cops, and he's just always really helpful for any city staff, honestly. So she reached out to him. So at that point, it was just, I think she was scared to get too many council members involved, and then it look bad.
Sure.
We could go back to, reflect badly on Jay, and I don't think she wanted that. So, and she probably doesn't know, where your loyalties lie. If she were to call you and tell you something and ask for it to be in confidence, I don't know if she trusts that you wouldn't talk to Hatley about it. And
sure.
That would hurt her husband's job, So
right. No, I totally get that.
It's probably that. I don't think that, I don't think that they wouldn't talk to you. I think that they would. But I think if you're just asking, which council member they have that's a favorite, I think, it would probably be me or Mark, just because of the way it's all worked out. I mean, I don't know that I don't think it's anything personal exactly, but, you were definitely linked to Rick and Martha more so than Brett and Emily. So I think it's just kind of like her looking at you as you're an individual and not a unit.
No, sure. I totally get that. I just, I would have assumed, if I didn't know better, if I hadn't talked to you and talked to Mark about a lot of this, I would have assumed this was oh my gosh, we've what are Chief's men going to think with all this going on? Yeah. I would never have realized there was so much, and dissatisfaction and
blood. Yeah, I found out from an officer this week. He was like, Cody, it's bad. It's really bad. Oh, also, Chief did not go to that fire. We had a fire that happened, I guess, yesterday, and this car caught on fire in Fate. Well, generally, whenever there's a big fire like that and you have to call out other departments, they had to call Kaufman, which is how I know, because one of the guys that talked to me, he used to work for Fate, and now he works for Kaufman, and he had to come to the fire. He said Chief was nowhere to be found. Middle of the day, of his shift, he was not there. He was not at this huge fire, and all these other departments are out there, and it was in his city. He said it just looks bad. It looks like he's asleep at the wheel, he's just coasting till retirement. Just his heart is not in it.
Now, I'm just, let me play devil's advocate here, just because I'm thinking through this.
Uh-huh.
And I know that they're anonymous, but if one of Chief's major things is that he talks to Mark Hatley, if you give anonymous testimony of these officers, is Michael not going to have to take that and try to find out who sent that to you because they're technically contacting you?
No. And I talked to Michael about that, because I told him, I was like, listen, they obviously don't have an advocate. Normally you would go to your chief and be like, hey, HR didn't give me my raise. But they couldn't do that.
Okay, so
they had to go outside of those normal means.
So and that would be my one concern, is to protect those officers. But if Michael is fine with
that, is my number one concern, and they won't get that out of me. I won't tell them who did it.
No. I know. I'm just saying, but if Michael knows he's not been, he hasn't indicated to you that like, oh, that's a problem, I'm going to need to go find who those are or anything.
No, he has not at all.
Okay, good.
Not at all. And I would kick his ass if he did.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that.
You're right. Yeah, physically.
There will be a Facebook Live to pay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that. Now, Lyle will probably try to, but not Michael.
Do you know, okay, well, did Michael's, and I guess I'm, do you know when do you know when the chief will be fired?
No, I don't. They're trying to be very meticulous, Michael said. He acted as if, like, they have been doing this whole time behind the scenes. As if even if the departments didn't get split, whatever, like, they were moving forward with this process. Because there were things there was extra information that had come about, and things that I found out. And, I even asked Michael, I said, you and Chief both were on the coast. Like, did y'all know each other before y'all got to the city? And he said, no, actually we didn't. We never met. He said, I know his city manager when he was in Portland. But no, I never knew him, because I was like, why is Michael protecting him so much? Because this has been going on for a long time, where councils have tried to get rid of Lyle because of issues, and it just hasn't ever happened. And so I was like, maybe they know each other, like maybe they're, I don't know. I mean, because he doesn't want to fire him. He has gone back and forth on this a lot, and he's protected them for the most part, even. And I mean, I love the fact that they actually put in the evaluation the fact that he has disrespected Stephen, the assistant city manager, and he has done absolutely nothing to try to repair that relationship or ever apologize. And so Michael did put that in there, and I'm glad that they did, because that's totally inappropriate. Stephen's his boss, whether he
right. No,
or not.
What did he say? Do you know that battle?
Sort of. So I know that it happened because after there was some sort of incident where Vicky was online running her mouth as always, and Stephen pulled Chief in there, and he was like, "You're going to make a statement. You're going to write a statement from the Fate DPS Facebook page," and there was some big thing that Chief had messed up on somehow. I can't remember the exact. Story, but there was something that Chief had done. Chief felt like Stephen forced him to lie, and Chief told Stephen he was never going to fucking do that shit again, basically, and told him that his wife was a private citizen and she could say whatever the hell she wanted to. And so Stephen has not liked him since then. And Michael didn't back up Stephen. He should have been fired then, to be honest. But he wasn't, even though he was completely insubordinate. He talked back to his boss, and he did all that because of Vicky. And I know that because Vicky's the one that told it to me. And so whenever, like months and months later, when I was talking to Stephen, he mentioned something to me about, this had been a problem before with Vicky. I said, I know the story. And he was like, you do? I said, oh yeah, I know the story. Vicky told me all about it. And I was telling her, he was like, I cannot believe that after all of that, he still went home and told his wife everything. And she went and told you that. He was like, this is what I mean. Like, he just won't listen. He just won't get it. No one should be bringing their wives with them to these meetings. No one should have their wives this involved on an operational level. It's inappropriate. And he said, I would be horrified if Becca was out there online getting into it with people, and people were thinking, that it was me, or that she was speaking on behalf of me,
Yeah,
so, he's just like, it's so inappropriate, it's unprofessional. And like I said, Michael probably should have got rid of him then, or he should have gotten, put up on a PIP then, something. But you can't keep doing that. And Michael has a hard time being confrontational.
See, this is where I wish Michael would have. And I don't know, what Hatley, because I know they're very close. I don't know what Hatley would do. Oops. Sorry, I'm in the car in the driveway, and before I go in the house where it's loud.
Yeah.
I know that Michael and Chief are very close, but like I feel like if you were to have just said, "Hey, he disrespected," I mean, I know it says that they had a falling out, but. Like, yeah, I mean, speaking in that manner, document that shit, Michael, because then we can do what needs to be done.
Exactly. It doesn't mean you have to fire them right then, but at least you're creating a paper trail.
Right. I kind of feel, I honestly, and I mean, I don't know, I kind of feel like Vicky is probably the biggest reason that he's going to end up going.
That is. I mean, and it's unfortunate because it didn't have to be that way. But I think if he wasn't so involved politically, right? Like if he was just a bad chief, right? We probably could, I don't know, we could rationalize it for maybe 3 years and deal with it. But it's all the other bullshit that goes along with it. You can't do the things that you're doing on an operational level that suck and then have a bad attitude and a bad wife on top of it. You have to pick a struggle. You can't have all three at the same time.
Right. That, yeah. In my mind, I picture like you have the stool and it's like, all three legs of the stool. Well, when they're all messed up or like when they're all compromised, the stool's going to fall.
Exactly. And it's just, it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts, That's really what this has been. He has slowly messed up on every level. And the main thing to me is when your guys don't have faith in you. People, and if you're in a situation in the military or in a situation with law enforcement or even with fire, those are life and death situations. You have to be able to trust your leadership. If your cops that serve at your behest no longer trust you, you have a real problem. And it can cause people to lose faith in you. And then that can cause people to lose their lives. Because then whenever it comes down time to have someone's back, you have to think.
Right.
Instead of react. And that gets people killed. And that, I mean, I don't know. I look at it from a different standpoint. I know whenever my husband had bad chiefs, they aren't called chiefs, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
When they were bad, and you get deployed, you're in danger. You have to be able to trust your leadership. You have to. So it's different than just like, oh God, the boss sucks, Right. I get it. But you can deal with a bad boss if you're a school teacher. It sucks, but you're not risking your life every day, right? And you don't have to trust them in that way. But when you're talking about cops and firemen and things like that, it's just a different level. You have to be able to trust your leadership.
Does Michael know, because I'm supposed to talk to him tomorrow, does Michael know, I don't want to say anything that like Michael doesn't know yet and from what we're talking about here, does Michael know that there are officers who've given you statements? Like that you are going to bring those to council?
I have told him most of the things that these guys have told me over the phone.
Okay, because I want...
So I won't be upset with you for disclosing anything. It's my fault if I haven't said written statements. I can't remember.
Well,
but I have told him what they have told me, right?
Okay, because the reason I'm asking, the whole reason behind that is I want to know if this is something that we've known about for a while, or if this is because like, for example, just outside of us talking a little bit here and there and knowing there's some dissension in the ranks, as it were, this will be news to me. Like, I won't have known this depth and breadth of it. Will Michael is Michael the same, or is he like, no, I've known this has been a problem as well?
Well, there was one thing that I mentioned to him that he was confused. Like, not confused, but he was like, oh, no. Like, so I told him, because he was like, well, what, because he said, you've talked to both police and fire. I said, I have. And he said, really? He said, what is the fire saying? The fire side saying? I was like, well, he has a nickname that they have all given to him. And he was like, what? And I said, they call him Lion Lyle.
Oh, gosh.
And he was like, oh, no. And I said, Michael, it's bad. Like, it's bad. It's bad on both sides. And I said, you know, they don't the fire guys don't necessarily feel as angry as the officers do. But none of them like Vicky. Like, they all hate Vicky. Every last, whether it's fire, whether it's police, it doesn't matter. They cannot stand Vicky. And they've all had run-ins with them. We apparently had a firefighter that passed away. He was part-time on ours and then full-time, like out in Prosper or something. So anyways, he was in a fire and heavy equipment fell on top of him, so he was in the hospital. And all the firefighters and the wives are going up there to be with this family. And Vicky got into it with another one of our firefighters' wives in the middle of the hospital, and just starts going off on her in front of everybody. And and the wife called me and told me that, and she was like, yeah. And a month later, my husband was fired. All because I was in the hospital and Vicky was like inserting herself, and she didn't really know the family, and tensions are high and all this stuff, you know, like they're having to take care of a wife that's up there like mourning because her husband is probably not going to make it. It was really sad. And so they were all traumatized, and Vicky goes up there trying to push her weight around and act like she's queen. And they just didn't have time for it, you know, like, so she said something to her about it, and that was it. Next thing you know, he don't got a job anymore. But like, so those firemen, they know that. They don't like that, you know?
Does Michael know how involved Vicky has been? I mean, I know that he,
I don't know that he understands to the level in which, but he knows that Vicky is a big problem. They all know that, because that was why Stephen pulled him into the office, and, you know, Chief basically told him to F off. Or he told him to never ask him to fucking do that again. Like, make a post that he didn't believe was true. And I cannot remember what this was in relation to, but Stephen knows. Stephen would remember exactly what the post was and why, and I can't remember, but in some way, shape, or form, Fate PD, Fate DPS did something, and they needed to clarify it. And Lyle thought he shouldn't have to do that. He said it right the first time, and Stephen was like, nope, you have to rewrite this. This is not going to work. You don't have a choice. And, you know, just leveled with him like a boss is supposed to, basically.
Right.
Did you know that Lyle is a registered Democrat?
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, but all of a sudden the sex offender thing made sense to me when they sent that shit to me. I was like, he's really a registered Democrat? Like, imagine if Hatley knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's over here, like, fighting so hard to save Lyle's life, and he don't even know that he's a registered fucking Democrat. It's online.
Like what? How? Like doing through the elections office thing?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a background check. Somebody had done a background check on Lyle. And, like, you know, it showed all the different departments he had worked at. He showed that he was a Leo. It, you know, gave his birth date. It was, like, an in-depth report, and it said, and he's a registered Democrat. But he's from California. So.
So, hey, you know, it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so
yeah, because, like, well, and were you around when that pimp from California got an was asking for an exemption?
No, but Harper had talked to me a little bit about it.
Okay, so Lyle pretended that there was no way for them to kick this guy out of Fate because we don't have in Texas a charge called pimping and pandering. And so Mark Harper, and this is before he even got on council, Mark Harper called down to the Texas Attorney General's office and spoke to somebody, and he was like, "Hey, we've got this guy came from California, moved here. He got brought up on felony pimping and pandering charges. That was the charge, and we don't have an exact match. What does Texas do? Like, do they just get to go free because we don't have a pimping and pandering?" He was like, "Absolutely not." And they were like, "You would file it under this." And our chief didn't know that. Either he didn't know or he didn't care, but he had told that pimp that he could stay, that he was going to exempt him. I was like, what?
The chief said he was going to exempt the pimp?
Yes. He told them in executive session, he told all of council that he had already told the guy that he was okay, that it had happened a long time ago, and, not to worry about it. Like, what? Not to worry about it because we don't have a pimping and pandering official charge? So it's just weird sexual assault shit. Or child sex stuff. Like, why? Why is this always the same issue with you? I don't understand. But that guy had been in Wood Creek, right there where you are, like right over there by Bobby Summers on that side. He was there for 2 years. Nobody said anything. Never registered because, we don't have a pimping and pandering charge. So somebody let us know. Somebody found him, sent it in, and chief was like, "Nope, we can't do anything. We don't have that charge in Texas."
Yeah, almost like if the citizen had never found out, we would just never know.
That's exactly what it is, and it was Karen that found that one too. Karen is on it when it comes to them sex offenders. She sent me a message. She said, "Is Andrew mad at me or something?" I sent him a text, and he didn't reply. I said, "Karen, Andrew just sucks. That's all it is."
Wow.
He just sucks. No, I told her, I was like, he does not reply to texts. He barely calls. I said, that's just him. He sucks at it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sure he's not mad at you. And she said, "Well, y'all told me to apply for this P&Z. I better not have Hatley have the last laugh again." Like, she was just freaking out. I said, "Karen, calm down. It's going to be fine. It is going to be fine. You're okay."
Yeah, I talked to Scott about that today too, and I said, "So I just, does Ryan Wells, did you see Ryan Wells' recommendation on that?" And he said no. And Scott, I think Scott made a good point too. He goes, at this point, this is not about putting anybody on P&Z for any longer than just let's be honest, we might appoint somebody Monday, but what are you going to do in December? So really this is a half-year appointment, and then nobody should assume that this means it's a perpetual thing for the rest of time. Like, for now, this is just to get somebody experienced back on there, because the vast majority of that commission is brand new.
Right, exactly. And she knows P&Z. She just does. There's no one that knows it better.
Right. It's one of those things where it's like, I bet you she knows P&Z so well that I could call her and be like, "Well, Karen, I disagree with how you made that decision." And she'd be like, "Well, here's the law, and here's this provision, and here's that." And then I'd be like, "Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not going to argue with you." Okay, well, that's... Yeah, admittedly, it will be very awkward if Chief is in there as a lot of this is discussed. I'm gonna
absolutely hate it. Like, I may need to bring like a Xanax.
Do you think, but here's the thing, at the end of the day...
a gummy, maybe, I don't know. This is gonna get bad. And I need to not get upset. And it's gonna be hard for me. Like, I had a personal relationship with Lyle, So I don't hate the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I do care about him. I care about his family. But I also understand that this is the right thing. I have to look at what is good for everyone, not what is good for him.
Of
And
course.
it sucks. It just sucks because, like I said, I don't like it. I don't like being mean. And this feels mean, but I think it feels mean because it's just one of those situations. It's not, I don't have hatred in my heart. It's not vengeance. I don't feel like that. But he's not doing a good job, and it's obvious because he's losing people. We lost another one this week. They're going to Royce City. They're taking less money. They're taking a pay cut to get out of fake. That is terrible, Andrew.
Okay, I don't disagree. Is Michael going to be willing? Because the couple of weeks that this has been going on, that I've talked to Michael about it, I learned more from you right now in a 1 hour conversation that we've had. Then I feel like Michael, and I don't know, and that's another thing too. I don't know if it's that Michael is the kumbaya guy, and so he doesn't want to say anything that come across as mean, or might come across, or if it's a.
I do. I think that's what it is.
Is he going to be prepared to say all of this too?
That was why I told him I was mad at him. So we'll see.
Does he know like what? So what's he? I guess let me ask it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want executive session to mess anything up. What is he? Have you talked to him? What's he hoping happens? And is there something that we?
What he is hoping happens is that all of council agrees they need to fire chief, and he said, I sat down with Hatley. I tried to explain it to him. I had Lee there. He is not listening. He does not get it. And I said, I know, Michael, so you may have to just be okay with the fact that you don't get Hatley's blessing on this. And he said, oh, I know. And he said, well, that's going to be easy to do after this week. Because he and Vicky Radical are pissed at Hatley. Pissed over that. Him demanding and setting an arbitrary deadline on them to get all this information back. Like, I told Michael when he called, I said, I didn't know we could order you around like that. Like, I need this, I'll need all these documents, and I need it by end of business on Friday. Like, what?
Right.
I've never heard of that happening. Like, I would imagine you would have the same amount of time that it takes to get an open records request from the public, Well, that would make sense.
Yeah, I'll admit, when I read that, I was thinking, like, what if, I don't mean to even say Mark, what if I, or what if you, or what if Martha, let's use Martha, because she would never do something like this. What if Martha had said, I want the same thing, but I want it by close of business on Thursday instead of Friday. Like, I get Vicky was willing to shut down the secretary office services for the rest of the week to get it.
Yeah, there's no way that she would have done that for anybody other than Hatley. She's doing it because Hatley asked, and people are scared of Hatley for whatever fucking reason. He's a tyrant. He talked so much shit about David and the way that he behaved at meetings. And, like, truly, he monopolizes all the discussion. He has to rebut everything that you say. He interrupts while other people are talking. He goes on and on and on. Like, it should just go in order, right? Like, we should just go up and down the line and have our little conversations. But every time anybody said anything that he didn't co-sign, he had to come back in. He had to click his mic back on. And it's just like, come on. Like, I get it. But at least wait until you've heard everybody speak. Like, even though I had things to say, Hatley spoke 3 times before I ever clicked my microphone on.
Yeah.
It was just, he monopolized all the time. You couldn't get time because Hatley just kept talking. And every time Scott would say something, he had to talk in. Every time Harper said something, he had to talk again. And I really did think that it was super, like, blatantly disrespectful when he used the word scrambling again. I was like, you legitimately just heard him say trying, and you didn't say it in a bad way or an offensive way. You weren't disrespectful. You were just like, let's try not to be inflammatory, and not use words like scrambling, let's not do that. And you said it in a cool way. Like that was definitely not David-like. You said it in a nice way. Like, look, come on, let's cooler heads prevail type of deal. And he turned around in the next breath and said it again. And it's like, why? You're literally trying to have like a dick measuring contest right now. We're all watching, bro. Stop. But it was just blatant to me. Like, please stop doing that. It was embarrassing. He embarrassed himself. And Scott told me that. He was like, Cody, I know you're frustrated. I know you're mad. But Hatley made a horse's ass out of himself. So, you don't ever shut your opponent up when they're making a mistake. I said, okay.
Well, and I just so you're aware too, because I told, was it Scott I told this to? I think so. During a discussion, Robert's rules says that there's no, we can, and if we want, and this is a side note, we can talk about this at a later date as a council. We can set rules. The charter allows us to set rules. I need to get with Vicky to see, do we actually have any rules on file? If not, then we default to Robert's Rules of Order. If we have something, I would probably say, just honestly, I would probably say for discussion items, let me say this. Let me back up again. For anything that has a definite motion attached to it, where we are going to make a motion on it, or there is an ordinance or a resolution number, that kind of thing, I think we probably need to very light discussion at the beginning, if Michael wants to talk about it, or the author of it or who put it on the agenda wants to say a few words. But then I think we do need to move into the motion, and then that's when the 10-minute timer starts for everybody. Everybody gets their two times to talk. And then, technically speaking, if we get to a point where we're like, well, hold on, we want to continue talking about it, somebody can say, I make a motion to suspend the rules so that we can continue discussion. And if somebody just looks at me, I can say, without objection, we'll suspend the rules for this agenda item. We can do that. Or if we have, and then so that's easy. Or if somebody's like, well, I made a motion to approve something, and they say, I'd like to amend the motion, or somebody can say, I'd like to retract my motion. We probably need to get better at that just so it doesn't go off the rails. But discussions, I wouldn't
the discussion, I just think if we could just make it to where we go in order for a discussion, right? Like at least for the first 2 rounds, right? Just wait your turn.
Well,
everybody gets a turn, and then after that, once we do that, then just ask if there's a motion.
Well, so
So
that sounds good. So my proposal was going to be, if you make if you have a discussion point, everybody has to have a first opportunity to speak. And so, Martha doesn't hardly ever speak, and that's fine. But I would say, okay, before Rick would get to speak a second time, I'd first say, Martha, would you like to say something? Or at least anybody else on council, would they like to say something?
Right.
And then it go. So I'm gonna email Michael and say, maybe for our December meeting, because Harper's not gonna care if he misses that one. I think I'm gonna say something like, I would like to discuss rules for council, and then I'll put together a rules thing, and so y'all will see it on the agenda. I'll send it out. I'll have Vicky send it out ahead of time.
Is just a little bit less. I go back and forth. I want everybody to be able to speak. I want everybody to have freedom of speech. I'm fine with that. But the reason why they have the Robert's Rules of Order is so that you can control people like that who think they have to talk every time you talk. And then I'm sitting there listening to Scott, right? And he's making a point, and I think of something, oh, okay, well, I can say something about that. Well, Hatley's already got his microphone on, and he's coming in for his second round, and then by the time it gets to me, it's like, well, we've had 4 different fights since the original point was made. You know what I mean? It gets lost, and I think that there just needs to be a little bit more structure, is what I would call it. I don't want to censor anyone. I just would like a little more structure.
Agreed. And that's where it's just, especially during discussion, we need it. And so I'll propose a rule change, and it's going to be purely like, hey, this is just going to help us. You're exactly right, with a little bit more structure, and I think we'll be good.
Yeah. Well, and that was really, I guess I didn't realize that the time clock starts once the motion is made, but with something like that, like, nobody wanted to make a motion.
Right.
Like we were really trying to not make a motion, because, I mean, in Harper's mind, he didn't want to pressure you to make a vote on Monday. And it irritated him that he couldn't. He wanted to, but he was just like, I got the vibe that Andrew wasn't ready, and I didn't want to make a motion on something, and then now we can't bring this back. You know what I mean? Like, it looks like we're being petty if we bring this back later on, like in another month, and we talk about it again. And so he was like, it just wouldn't make sense for him to do that if he didn't feel like there was enough support.
Well, I don't know. For me, and I told him this, when he said February, he's like, we're kicking the can down the road. February 9th, we're supposed to start discussions. We have our first strategy session. I told him, I said, I thought you were throwing that to me as like or not throwing it to me, throwing it out there like hey, would everybody like to, make a decision then? And so that's why I had said, all right, we're going to do that. And then when Scott said, it was like, well, can we talk about this like every first meeting of the month until that February 9th date? I kind of was like, oh, okay, perfect. Here we go. We're discussing it. We're getting it out of the way. And like, that will definitely guide our discussion through the budget season for sure. And then Mark Harper sent me, you sold out.
I love him so much.
Well, I had some choice words for him, but
and they weren't bad, huh?
Right.
I'm dead. That's so funny. Laughing at your expense, my bad, but that's hilarious.
Well,
he was so mad. He probably could have said worse. I'm just telling you. Like, he was so mad. I wasn't even out of the freaking parking lot, and Mark was calling my phone.
Well, he told me
he was motherfucking this and motherfucking that, and he was mad. He was real mad.
Yeah.
If all you said was you sold out, you got off real easy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it did seem like he was more upset at the exchange with Hatley.
He was, because he knew things and he couldn't say it. He was trying to hold back because he was like, Misty told me not to.
Yeah.
He was like, God damn, I wasted 3 hours with Misty. I wasted whiskey on Andrew. God damn it. Like, he was pissed. He was pissed. He was mad. Super duper mad.
Well, that explains why he hadn't talked to me all week.
Listen, he hasn't been mad. I talked to him like at least twice a day at this point. He's not mad at you anymore.
All right, well, good. Good, because that makes it awkward because I got to sit right next to him.
Yeah. No, and I mean, he's going to be nasty regardless. As long as you don't, video his wife on a golf cart with his daughter, you're fine,
Right. Would never think to do that in general, but...
who would,
Right.
It's a really weird thing to do.
All right, well, it's amazing how quick an hour can go, but...
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your last weekend before this.
Oh, God. I'm dreading Monday. Like, this Monday, I think, is going to give me worse palpitations than last Monday. I need Michael to be like, no, he's not. He's not going to be in executive session, and that'll just be, like, the best news ever. Or he can just say, I haven't even mentioned it. That would be perfect,
I haven't even mentioned what?
Like, mention that he can be in the meeting.
Oh, okay. Like just
technically he can, but maybe he just didn't speak about the fact that he can. I don't know.
Like Michael's not giving him that option. He's not. He's not telling him he can't, but he's not telling him he can either.
He's omitting.
Right.
He's omitting that little tidbit. I mean, I don't know. again, I'm going to do what I got to do because I've got big balls and I'll do it. But it's not going to be fun. And I'm not going to be happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be mad. And so it's going to be hard for me to, control my anger. But I'm going to do it. It'll be okay. I'll figure it the fuck out. I always do. So,
Fortunately.
Oh, there's one thing that I did want to ask you that has nothing to do with all of this, though. By the way, somebody told Amy Norton that I was running for 4D. And she was up there with Sharon Henson this week trying to find someone in 4D to run against me.
Are you sure it's 4D?
Oh, yes, I am.
Because I talked to Sharon yesterday at the CEC meeting about 4C has an opening. I'm in
4D.
No. I know you're in 4D, but like, was your name mentioned?
Oh, no, my name was mentioned. Like, my exact name was mentioned. Yes, they were like, they told this person, I know you like her, but please don't say anything. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know who likes you?
That was what Sharon said to this individual. Like, we know you like Cody, so just please don't tell her. Alma's not going to like having to work with her. So my plan is, and it's diabolical, Andrew, I will admit it. But here's my plan. If those motherfuckers find somebody to run against me in 4D, I'm going to run against goddamn Alma, and I don't give a fuck. I will just love nothing more than to make all of them cry because they have an opponent. I will just be talked about, and I don't care, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to expose it. I'm going to shed a little sunlight on the situation. I'm like, you know what? I was just going to run for precinct chair, guys, but I got this phone call, and turns out they didn't want me in my precinct that has been completely open forever and has never had a precinct chair here. So I decided I was going to volunteer and sign up, and I was going to do it on the last day because I know how these hoes roll. But turns out somebody snitched, and well, goddamn it, guess what? I'll just take out Alma instead of my new opponent. Joke's on y'all, motherfuckers.
Right. Now she's in charge of us all.
He's motivated me. I feel motivated all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Y'all think that I care. I don't care about being precinct chair. That's not a big deal to me. But the fact that you care so much makes me care more. And you shouldn't have made me care.
Right.
Ask David Billings about that.
No,
You're really going to get so many phone calls about me if that happens. Like, they are going to call you like, bro, what are you going to do about the Cody Chin problem?
Well, do you want me to try to kind of like sleuth around and find who they're trying to talk to?
Yes, I would love that.
Okay.
I mean, because for one, they may be a great precinct chair. Maybe I like them. And maybe that is even better that they are there and I get to run against Alma. I mean, I'm cool either way. I'm not spending any money on this.
Well, and I mean, not that I'm now pushing you to run against Alma, but I would love for there to actually be the Israel debate among Republicans.
Yes. Could we have it? Because they know that it'll happen with me and Alma.
Well,
it'll happen.
I'll tell you this. So you are talking to the chair of the forum committee for the Rockwall GOP, and yours truly will be asking the questions and moderating the discussions and debates between any contested candidate, including the GOP chair.
Oh, I love that. Okay, well, I love to hear that. I do. I absolutely love to hear that.
Well,
if you have balls, I'll know, because there will be a question about, America first.
Who do you think you're talking to?
The guy that just kicked the can down the road and sold out till February. That one.
That told you guys from the very beginning that I wanted to hear evidence, and that I wasn't going to vote on it the same night.
I wouldn't say that you said that from the beginning. I will say that you said that from the beginning of that Monday whenever I called you. I will say that. When I talked to you Monday before the meeting, you absolutely did say that. That under 14 whiskey shots at Mark Harper's house, you did not say that. But on Monday you did. So I'll give you that.
Well, thank you. I don't think I had 14.
Listen, I lost count. You got up and down a lot.
Well, that's because he was pouring tiny ass little amounts.
It's his fault. That's right.
Right.
Mark Harper ended up having a meeting with Martha today. I'm gonna have to get off the phone with you and call Harper and find out how that went, because they were about to go to Beer Me or something tonight.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, they were hanging out like hardcore.
All right. Well.
What's that?
Let me know if you find out like how it went. Let me know. I'd be curious to see.
Oh, I'm sure it went great. Martha's so easy. Why can't Hatley be like Martha?
When you find that out.
Oh, by the way, how awkward is it going to be tomorrow, okay?
Oh, gosh, don't remind me.
Oh, Ken he's like, Cody, I must fucking love you. And I'm like, why? He said, you're going to make me sit at a table with Hatley and his wife after what he did to you in Fort Worth. Like, he's so mad because he's like, why is Hatley such a little bitch? Like, why did he not say anything to your face all week in Fort Worth, and the second you walk out, you're on the phone with Andrew and he's running his mouth again? Like, he just cannot. He hates it. And he sucks at hiding his emotions. I'm like, okay, well, I just need you to be sweet. Try to kill him with kindness. Try to be nice. Because I said, you know what you need to do? You know what would make Hatley really, really mad? Is if you're more popular than him. That's what you should do. You should just be like the social butterfly of them all and just go around and give everybody hugs and hang out, because that's what Hatley wants to do. He wants to be the cool kid, and nobody ever picked him to play on their soccer team, and so he's constantly trying to like make up for that. So that's what we should do. If we want to get on his nerves, let's just pretend to be more popular. And it's going to be hard because at this point, I'm sure somebody has already told Alma that I'm going to come for her job now that she's sent people to be in 4D. So.
Oh, it's Alma you think that's doing that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sharon said Alma does not want to work with her.
Huh.
Yeah, Sharon wants Alma to be in there, and I heard that she didn't, but legit, she does. She was like, no, Alma does not want to have to deal with that. She does not want to deal with Cody. I was like,
want to deal with that.
Yeah, he does not want to deal with that. The Israel problem. She doesn't want to deal with that.
Oh, gosh. Well, I will ask, depending on what you decide, I will definitely ask the question, is America first? Does that exclude Israel? And so it really becomes Israel, America first, and then that's where we send all our money. I don't know if you saw a meme the other day. It said, I forgot, but it was like, taxpayers, we're really struggling with the groceries. U.S. government, oh my gosh, that's a real shame. Here's another $40 billion to Israel.
That'll fix it.
Oh, it was bad.
It's pathetic, man. Like, it's so pathetic. I've never been so upset. And it's my guy in charge. I know. Upset. If it was Joe Biden, I would be so hopeful, because just wait until 2028.
Right.
I would have hope. But it's my guy.
Yeah.
It's my guy that sucks. I have no hope, because after that, we have J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio. Do you really think that things are going to change? Absolutely freaking not.
Right.
It's going to be the exact same. It's going to be Trump 3.0. I don't want that. I haven't been happy with 2.0 Trump. I want 1.0 back.
I know.
He was great in 2016, dude. Like, I loved him. I loved his press conferences. I don't know. I have a neutered Trump. That's what it feels like. He feels like he's neutered.
Well, where's the Trump from like January, February, and March of this year?
Exactly.
Where it was
you're right. I said the same thing. You noticed April was different, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was.
April was different.
That
was when the Elon Musk thing happened, I believe.
Yeah.
Was that not the same time? Like, I think him and Elon had their little falling out in April. I'd have to go back and look, but something happened. Somebody went in there and neutered our president in April of 2025, and he hadn't been seen or heard from since. It is annoying to me.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah, I know. It's like we were talking about deportations. We were talking about cutting spending. We were talking about doing, and now he's at that press conference basically saying, no, we don't have any talented people in America. This is why we need more H-1Bs.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I'm sick of this. I am sick of us investing in everybody but our own people. I don't want to hear shit about food stamps or student loan debt or black people getting reparations. No. We fund Israelis' abortions.
Oh.
Do you know that? I am not even listening. When you try to talk about poor people in America sucking on America's teat, I don't want to hear it. At least they're freaking Americans, and so they're buying here, and we're getting their sales tax, if nothing else.
Oh, I've said before, and I'm as conservative as they come. And if you're recording me right now, you'll doom me for any future political office if I run for.
You and just say you do not have permission. I do not have permission to record Andrew right now.
Hey,
okay, and go.
I'm just saying, I would look at this and say, everything that we spend over in Israel, let's forgive all the student loans. Everything that we spend over in Israel, let's pay everybody's credit card debt. Like, I'm at the point where it's like, okay, we're going to spend the money, then let's just pay off people's debt. Because it's like, here's the deal. Well, that's inflation. Inflation's already happened because we've already printed the money.
Exactly.
The only difference is that we're not giving it to our people. And it should appall everybody. Like, hey, there are people who are not going to the doctor because they can't afford insurance. And look, Obamacare obviously sucks. Credit to Obama for at least attempting to try. Like, I'm all that, but like, it sucks here. And all we hear about, well, we're going to shut down the government. And I know the Democrats were like, we'll use that as a bargaining chip and stuff. But we're more worried about Israel than we are. When was the last time you heard where we've got a bipartisan group of lawmakers who are up in Washington right now seeking to figure out this healthcare issue? Nope. But we do know that, well, what's going on in Israel? What's going on in Israel? Let's send them more money.
Yes, why the hell is it that we are so concerned and obsessed with a country the size of New Jersey? Why? Why? They don't have any significant resources that we need. Nothing. It's all because all of our politicians were blackmailed by Israel.
Yeah.
That's why.
And it's either, I just can't figure out if it's, like they're afraid of Mossad, and like they've been shown.
They used that Thomas Crooks, the dude that shot Trump in the air.
Oh yeah.
They used that. Even if it wasn't, let's say it wasn't Israel that did that he had no connections, no ties, and everybody believes that he had zero internet footprint online. No, he's in his 20s. There's no such thing as a 20-year-old that has no social media. But, okay, fine. So we have that guy who clearly did not do this by himself. He didn't just wake up one morning and decide to do this.
Right.
We're supposed to believe that. And we're supposed to believe that no other foreign entities had anything to do with it. We're supposed to believe that our FBI knew nothing about it. It's bullshit. We all know that that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We know
absolutely
that this is a conspiracy. They try to take out our president, and they use that. What did Rahm Emanuel used to say?
Don't let a crisis.
Tragedy. Yeah. Don't ever let any kind of tragedy or crisis go to waste. Use it. So Israel probably called Trump and was like, "Hey, Barron's next."
Right.
That's all they would have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. they don't even have to be behind it. I mean, maybe he did it all by himself, but they could use it. They could use it.
Yeah, that's...
But Charlie Kirk, to me, that was a warning shot. That was a signal. Like, hey, you're about to zig and you need to zag. Okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Get this shit zipped up. Somebody sent a message, and that message was to Trump. He has been... he's just been terrible. And I mean, even when they asked him right after Charlie's death, they asked him how he was taking it. And what did he do? He pivoted to his golf game. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip? I was mortified for him. I had secondhand embarrassment. Do you have no idea? Do you have absolutely no idea how embarrassing you are?
Right.
That was embarrassing. This man gave up his whole life for you. Do you realize that he died for you? He legitimately died for you. He died for MAGA. You absolute asshole. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I'm right there with you.
Trump lost me. I don't have respect for him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where his balls are. I don't know who threatened him, but that is not the Trump that I voted for under any circumstance. That is not what I voted for.
Yeah, and I mean, even the 50-year mortgages and all that. I mean, it's
oh my God. We will own nothing. They will own nothing. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You'll never own anything. That's communism. That's exactly what, Bill Ackman, he told everybody it wasn't important to own anything. We should just all be renters. Really?
I know.
Really, Bill? Really, Bill? How many homes do you own?
Yeah.
Or do you just rent them all?
Right.
How about that nice one in the Hamptons that you invited Charlie Kirk to? Was that a rental? These people they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. Not in a good way. They're disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, put me up against Alma. I'm ready.
Well,
the Rockwell GOP will just burn to the ground. They're going to be they're going to wear pearls so they can clutch them. If there is a debate between me and Alma, can you imagine?
Well, hey, don't tempt me, because now I'm not going to find out who's running, and I'm just going to be like, oh yeah, Cody, somebody's running against you, so you might as well run for GOP chair.
I mean, I'm going to be watching every day. What I'm afraid of is I'm going to fill out the fucking packet wrong, and they'll get me on a technicality, because I'm the worst about attention to detail. That is not my thing. Okay, I'm big ideas girl. I'm fight for a cause and stand with a poster on the street corner, but I'm not paying attention to the fine details. So I hope I fill it all out right.
Well,
they will for sure not tell me if I don't.
Send me a picture of it, and then before you leave, just send it and be like, all right, does everything look good here? And I'll tell you yes or no. And then if they don't tell you, be like, why the hell y'all didn't tell me it was filled out right?
It would be funny if I bet this is illegal, but it would be funny if I said, okay, I get it. Y'all aren't allowed to tell anyone that you support me because everybody's afraid of Alma. But if you want to donate to my campaign, send it to this special person and they'll send it to me. We understand. Do you know how many people hate that lady but will not say it because they're terrified of her? It's the weirdest thing to me. I think Bobby doesn't even like her. You know what I mean? Bobby's the sweetest little person ever. He loves me. I'm going to have to run against his wife, and I like him. That's what sucks. He's the only reason why I don't want to do it. Because I do. I love Bobby. I campaigned for him when he ran for school board.
Bobby's a great guy.
I absolutely love Bobby. His wife is a whole nother issue, though.
Oh, I don't think I knew he ran for school board.
Oh, yeah. He ran for school board when Amy Johannesson did, and Frank Conselman and Sherry Packer.
Oh.
That was in 2021, and I block walked for Bobby and for Amy Johannesson, actually.
Oh, wow.
Me and Amy and Trace and Chin used to all hang out. We were at Band of Brothers all the time on Fridays, and then we had a falling out.
You got to quit having all these falling outs with everybody.
It's not my fault. People just don't like what I say online. That's all. So it wasn't anything necessarily that I did specifically, but Trace tried to come for me during that, when the teacher molested that 4-year-old little boy that goes to my church. So I had something to say about it, and Trace tried to correct me, and I was like, "Here's what we're not going to do, sir." And he didn't like the fact that I questioned the mayor of Rockwall. So he hasn't been my friendly since. Neither has Amy. They don't like my posts anymore. When I got elected, they congratulated me and called me up, and they were, awfully cheerful. But yeah, that didn't last long after that little incident. So,
Well, yeah.
Oh well.
I guess it would be a little awkward if you ran against Bobby's wife.
Yeah, I know. Well, maybe I should just send them a fruit basket. Like, sorry, I still like you. Gotta do it. I don't know. I'm charming. I can figure it out. It'll be fine. Bobby, it's not you, it's her. I do like him. That's what's sad. I absolutely do like Bobby. I really do. It is sad that I'm going to have to maybe run against his wife. But
well, like I said, I'll do some digging and see if I know if it's like they have somebody or if it's just they're as someone close to us likes to use the term, if they're scrambling.
Mm-hmm. Well, but who would tell Amy Norton? I don't even know Amy like that. I know Misty does, but Misty wants me to be a precinct chair, I think. So it will be weird.
The only thing,
or maybe she trusted Amy and
well,
talked to her about it, and Amy did that. I don't know.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but that was my first thought, just because. Yeah, I mean, I know that Amy and Misty are close, and maybe there was like a, hey, here's what we're thinking of, because Amy, from what I've heard, alleged, I don't know for sure, Amy is not excited about Alma being the chair either. So
why do they all act like they all act terrified of her?
I'm just
weird. Is it not weird?
I'm just saying, if there was and I know that. I mean, even some of the other precinct, I mean, it's a stacking the deck game, right? That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's because technically, if you have enough precinct chairs, you can block the chair from doing almost anything. I guess the question is, would Amy have said something to Sharon?
Probably. I mean, I'm really juicy gossip,
I just don't know. I mean, I guess the question, you and I know Sharon, you and Sharon don't necessarily get along. Do you get along with Amy?
Well, I really have only talked to her like 2 times in my whole life, and
you get along with Katrina real well, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually get along with Sharon Tooley pretty good. Now, I mean, she didn't like me in the beginning, but Sharon's been nice to me. I mean, fake nice.
She doesn't like me now.
Oh, well, I call it nicety. She's nicety. She's nice nasty. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's how she is. But she's very pleasant to my face and has lots of compliments for me. And I can be schmoozed. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. Tell me I'm pretty and skinny in my face, and I'll like you. It's fine. So. When Sharon talks to me now, it's okay. And I do get along with Katrina I definitely don't think she trusts me, but I mean, we get along. I've had nice conversations with Katrina. We have a decent relationship, and, that's pretty much like what you should expect from your state rep,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't need to be BFFs with her, but she's fine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know Amy that well.
I just, my thought is maybe.
But I'm not mad at Misty.
Well,
I really don't care. Like, I'll call Misty and be like, hey girl, did you happen to mention that well, she probably, she could have told Doug Ross. She tells Doug everything. My thought
is this, and here's where the politics make strange bedfellows kind of thing.
Yes.
Sharon, I don't think, likes the idea of Alma taking over either.
Which one, Tooley or Henson?
Henson.
Okay, I've heard that, but yet she gives her awards.
I've heard that. It doesn't make sense to me either. My thought is, I mean, I'd almost want to be like, hey, Sharon, who would you rather have? And And I don't know, maybe if Amy told Sharon and it was hey, here's somebody else that can block Alma as a precinct chair, but then Sharon turns around and looks at that and says, no, I'll find somebody different. And now Alma's trying to find somebody that's going to be friendly to her. And I don't want the precinct chairs to be stacked with pro-Alma people.
Of course not. Who would want that? Who would actually want that?
Well, I thought I was going to have a nice, peaceful weekend without stuff to do, but...
You're welcome.
I'm about to check...
It wasn't going to be peaceful regardless. We got to go to the Festival of the Lights tomorrow. What are you wearing? Are you being colorful and Christmassy?
Yes.
Oh, me and Chen are too. Do you know who, like, the 90s gangster rapper Suge Knight is?
Cody, do you look at me and think that I know what that even means, what you just said?
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing how, what do you listen to? Techno? Jesus, probably.
I would say EDM more than techno, but...
I don't even know what EDM is. This is how, terrible you are.
And classical and smooth jazz.
This is absolute trash. Okay, well, Suge Knight was a gangster rapper in the 90s, and I bought Chin a red velvet sports jacket. So he's going to look like Suge Knight, which is really fucking funny. But I have a green dress, so we're like red and green together.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so we're coordinating Christmas colors, basically.
I'm looking up Suge Knight.
Yes, Suge.
So help me God.
S-U-G-E.
So help me God, if I start to get these kinds of ads on Instagram because I looked it up, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh my God.
Well,
it was funny. Okay, I'm about to show you like what this big old boy looks like because it's funny. I found the perfect picture. I'm saying, oh shit. Well, I gotta find your name. Hold on. There you are. Oh my God. Because he's in a big old red suit. And Chen's huge. Like, my husband's wide. He is a wide man. And so when he wears bright colors, it's just funny because it's like it goes on for days. Like, it's just, I laugh. He's such a big person. It's his birthday tonight, but he went out with one of his friends to the bar because I was like, I just got in.
Oh.
I got in from Austin. I'm traveled all day. I'm not going out with the people tonight. So sorry.
Okay, well, this will be interesting. So I'm going to call him Suge Knight tomorrow.
Do it. Call him Suge Knight. Oh, he will die.
Okay.
Or cut you out. One of the two. Or think that I put you up to it.
Well, then I'll tell him from across the table.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. No, we have to sit by y'all. Are you fucking kidding me? If I have to sit next to Patty and Mark, do not do that to me, Andrew. I have to be sandwiched between you or Candace or Martha or Steve or I cannot. I can't sit that close, okay? I can be good if they're on the opposite side of the table, but we can't sit next to each other.
I actually think that Vicky Rudical had sent me an email that said there was a problem with the reservation, so we're actually at two separate tables, and so the Huffmans and the Greenbergs are at one, and the Hatleys and the Chins are at another.
You should probably jump off a cliff. That will literally not work. I mean, it just won't. Period. It will not work.
Well,
it will not work.
Well, we'll see. I guess.
Yeah.
We'll all be there. We'll all be there.
Mark's going to bring it up? Do you think Mark's going to bring it up? Anything? Or is he going to be good?
No, but I would. Martha is who I'm curious about. So.
Me too. I'm excited to call Harper and see how that little convo went.
Yeah, well, and send me. You don't have to call back because I know it's already 9 by the time you talk to him and stuff like that. But just send me.
You an update.
Yeah, like a little summary, like the Spark Notes
of what I find out.
The Cliff Notes. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember.
I did. I don't know. I think I read one book in English class that we were actually supposed to read. Everything else was Cliff Notes. Now there's freaking AI. I could have been like, just give me a summary of this and all that, but...
Yeah, bro. Like, I've been using Quizlet since way back. I know professors love that.
Right.
You do know about Quizlet, right?
Oh, yeah. I
was about to say, bro, if you don't know about it, all of your kids are cheating on their tests.
No, and here's the deal. So I'm one of those people that's like, at the end of the day, and I'll say this last thing and then I'll go, because I'm sure Candace is like, why are you just sitting out in the driveway?
She knows by now.
Right. I'm one of those people that's like, look, if you like, education is your responsibility. If you
cheating yourself.
Well, like, and look, and here's the deal. I mean, truth be told, I was in my I guess that was my sophomore year geology class down at Lamar University. There was a CD in the back of the book that had practice tests on it for each chapter. And so I would go and I would
text me.
Oh gosh.
Martha has the whole story about Chief. Well, I'm excited to hear what her reaction was.
That's all he's saying?
Yep. He says Martha has the whole story about Chief. He told her. So, yeah.
Well, call him. Let's three-way.
Yeah. Oh, let's three-way him. Oh, you're going to make me be the bearer of bad.
How is that bad news? Hello?
Hello, Mark. Are you there?
Yes.
Well,
okay.
I'm good. Andrew wanted me to call you on three-way.
Hi, Mark.
Okay.
So we're...
Hey.
He thinks you're mad at him, and he really wants to know how the conversation... I was on the phone with him when you sent me that message. He wants to know how the conversation with Martha.
I've been, I've texted you 82 times. You call me back. Well, I'm not mad. I just figured you're mad at me.
Me?
I'm just fucking with you. I'm not mad at anybody.
Oh, I was going to say, you didn't text me 82 times. I'm looking right now.
Do I need to get a public record request for your phone?
Yeah, last thing you said was call you in a sec, and then we had a 45-minute conversation.
I called you. You talked.
I know. I just, you hadn't texted me all week, and we were texting back and forth there for a while.
Oh, no, it's been a shit week at work, dude. I told you it was going to be crazy at work. So, no, Martha's and I's meeting went fine. I explained all the situation with the chief. She wasn't understanding what was going on, and I just said, look, this is the deal. Once I explained the sex offender stuff, she was like, oh, that's not acceptable. So,
yeah. Okay.
But again, I told her, it's not our job to fire the chief. It's, we just need to tell Michael the details of what we're not happy about, and then Michael can make whatever decision Michael needs to make at that point.
That's right. I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
But with the other stuff that's been going on this week, I can't imagine it's going to work out well. So.
No, it's not. And I haven't...
Hold on. Work out well for us?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because he was told specifically not to be conversating with Mark Hatley, and apparently that's still continuing, and Michael knows it, and he told me he doesn't even see if there's a way that Chief can be the fired chief. So I don't know what that means, but he's just not apparently he's not happy that Hatley's been attacking him because of the chief.
Yep.
Yeah.
Economics and nothing.
So,
well, I support it. It's going to be really freaking awkward if Chief is in this meeting. I'm going to have to take a shot, a Xanax, or a gummy, one of three. Michael wants me to talk in the meeting, so I'm going to, but
we got you back.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Like I said, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's unfortunately in our positions, it's stuff that we have to do. So
I understand.
We got you. We got your back.
Hey, and
I got your back. I don't know about that. I got your back.
oh God, I'm so sick of y'all.
The sellout that's on the phone, huh?
Oh, did I say that out loud? No, I'm just kidding. We got you.
No, Andrew told me. Andrew told
Well,
me.
here's the deal too,
and
y'all.
I told him, I said, you got off easy because you were getting motherfucked the whole way home from the meeting. And so if he just called you a sellout, it was no big deal.
I did tell him I was angry at him. I'm not scared to put my feelings out there, am I, Andrew?
Nope. Hey,
Okay.
and not one time this week have I been invited to the poorhouse, so I know he's still mad a little bit.
I've been open because Mark had his tooth pulled, and tonight was the first time he drank.
He had a root canal.
Oh, dude.
So he's been extra crotchety anyways. Yeah. Mark's been extra crotchety anyways. Just
tonight
with
Martha was my first drink. I had my tooth pulled, so that's part of the reason you haven't heard from me all week, because I ain't felt like fucking with nobody. So.
Yeah. Well, had I known that.
And plus, I got to listen to Karen Kaiser every day. So if I'm taking that beating, you can just relax.
Yeah, because Andrew doesn't reply to Karen. So when he doesn't reply to Karen, she texts me and she's like, "Is Andrew mad at me? I haven't done anything, have I?
Well,
is he mad? Why?"
She did text you, Andrew, and you haven't responded. She's worried that you're not going to support her for P&Z. So she doesn't want to come and be.
She don't want to be humiliated, and to her it is humiliating.
Well, again, that's happened already, and she's afraid with all the stuff going on with the chief that they're.
Yeah, I know.
I just so y'all know how that process is going to be, and I've talked to Vicky about this. We're going to recess into executive session and come out of executive session with a slate it'll be one, but to vote on. So that way it's a quick and it's an immediate thing that we do.
Right.
Right.
But because you asked her to do it, she's expecting your support.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying
I'm just telling you, she's going to be very, very disappointed if that doesn't happen. She's like, I don't know. She's like, she said, after Monday, I'm not sure. I'm like, Aaron, he asked you to do it. So I'm like, I don't know how he's going to do it, but I can't imagine if he asked you to do it, that he's changing his mind.
Well, maybe somebody needs to tell her that when she's online talking about how like she was praising Martha the other day, and I agree, I love Martha, but like she could throw me a bone every now and then too if she wanted.
Andrew, I'm going to tell her to call you tomorrow and let you guys have a conversation for about 9 hours, and then you can.
Well,
she'll throw you all the bones.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm going to forget to charge my phone, and it's going to be dead all day tomorrow.
Well, that wouldn't be any different than the regular day. So.
Well, just remember.
By the way, Andrew, you're not getting out alive. Karen is going to the Festival of the Trees. She's sitting with Bob Hall and Katrina's table.
Who is?
So, Karen Kaiser
is sitting at Bob Hall's table?
Yes, Bob Hall and Katrina's. Katrina invited her. She is the esteemed guest at their table, yes.
So, see, were you ranking the old system there?
You probably should send her a text message.
I'm about to rescind.
You're going to see her.
Hold on. Who are you talking to?
Andrew and Cody.
Okay.
Who's asking questions?
That's my wife.
They're in a three-way. Are we having a three-way?
And then my buddy Scott is over here, and he said, "Are you in a three-way?" And he didn't mean it like in a phone call way.
Well.
So.
All right, y'all.
Seriously, I had a tooth extracted on Tuesday afternoon, and I've been pretty much. I hadn't had anything to drink until today, and I've been just kind of laying low just because my mouth hurt. Michael did call me. When did he call us, Cody?
Wednesday.
And had heard we were upset with him and wanted to, and I pretty much unloaded on him. So
yeah, I did too.
Just I'm tired.
He says that we're not happy. Yeah.
I'm not. Again, I was very angry after Monday's meeting. And Martha said, and this is what Martha says tonight, I don't understand why we didn't tell the staff to go ahead and start the process. And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't going to make that motion. Well, he was ready.
We've already split the departments. And that is the common theme. If you talk to any of the guys at all, they're like, we're already split. The only thing that's not split is chief. That's it. That's the only thing.
So
And that's coming from Kissane, John Kissane, who absolutely loves Chief. John Kissane's the only person I think that loves Chief in the whole Fate DPS. And he is my daughter's SRO officer, but he's a firefighter. He's a firefighter. He is a freaking firefighter, and he is the SRO at my daughter's school. I just found that out. I was
wow.
Wait, what? We have a firefighter as the cop for my child? Like this, is anybody else having a problem? Is it just me? Does that sound right to y'all? That we send a firefighter to be the first person to stop the bullet? Like, come on, guys.
Andrew,
Come on.
I don't know if you know this, but I heard from somebody that said, and this is leadership right under Chief, that the department is already split. If Chief goes away, there's absolutely no interruption in service whatsoever. There is nothing changes. Everything is going to keep going just like it has been, and there is literally nothing that changed.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently Chief did not even show up to the car fire that we had yesterday. I heard that from one of the guys that used to work for Fate, and they're now at Kaufman PD, and they got called in to this big fire.
Oh, the one was at the 76 in the city?
Yeah, it was, yeah. So Chief didn't even show up to that.
Anyway.
Well,
so just so you know, that the leadership right below Chief was on board to split the department. So I just want you to be aware of that.
okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. I just, like I said, I just wanted to know so that when people ask me, because I know they will, I have more than just the, surface level discussion stuff.
You're going to have plenty of ammunition. If people ask and they want a honest answer, now, the problem is that Hatley is going to try to shape this in a way that benefits him. And when he does, that is when Chief's reputation is going to be dragged through the mud, because somebody is going to have to defend themselves.
Well,
and it's going to be me, because I'm not going to let it.
Martha said tonight she thought that Hatley's and Chief's relationship was inappropriate. So
good.
Okay.
It absolutely is.
Well,
so
has anybody talked to Rick?
I have not. I'm getting one at a time here, okay? I'm one.
Yeah. I know. I just wondered, if
Martha
anybody
was already panicked. We were in a quorum situation tonight. I'm like, because Scott was inside the building. I'm like, no, Martha, it's okay.
yeah, right.
Well, and I mean, technically, this stuff has not already been. Technically, I don't think that counts, because executive session is just about Chief in general. I don't really think it counts.
It still counts if you put 4 people talking about any one thing together. That's cool. But it doesn't count because we weren't.
It's very ambiguous, though. I mean, it didn't even get specific.
It is. But you put one piece of pizza in this motherfucker, and we're all done. Okay.
I'm gonna have them over pepperoni.
So. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna go back to drinking because I haven't been drinking much yet.
All right.
All right, man.
Well, y'all both have a good night.
Hey, the poorhouse is open this weekend, so you let me know if you guys need to come by.
Sounds good. I'll shoot you a text.
Maybe before Monday.
Maybe.
We need to go before tomorrow at the meeting.
Let's start at 3 p.m. on Monday, and then we'll head right on over.
Hey,
that sounds like a plan.
Hey, Mark, what was the? I was about to say Harper. If you heard me, I was about to say Harper, but then I was like, I don't call you by your last name.
Harper's fine. You're welcome to call me Harper, as long as you don't call me Hat.
do you remember what I had last time at your house?
I do.
Okay, bring that bottle on Monday.
No. You don't get to have any more whiskey till you perform.
Wow.
Right now you're restricted.
Whoa.
Expensive whiskey. until we see the result.
You get bottom shelf if you come over to
I'm on probation.
You're on double secret probation, and I've got some freaking Wild Turkey 101 over here. So
Mad Dog 2020.
Anyway. anyway.
All right, y'all.
You guys have fun.
All right, sounds good. Talk to y'all
Bye.
soon. Bye.
Bye.